Anyways. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Maya. I am a officially second-year university student studying at the University of Warwick. I am studying biomedical sciences, and this is my university lifestyle vlog channel. So I don't actually really vlog, it's more just informative videos, but I talk about everything from the course to the university, my personal life, things that are going on, so, welcome! Anyways, today's video is going to be another Warwick review. I made one a bit earlier at the beginning of quarantine when I first learned that I wasn't going back to uni for third term, and I guess this review will be a bit more of what social life was like at uni, and I'll also be covering what it was like doing online third term, because that was an experience that I definitely think everyone who experienced online schooling for the last term of school knows about, and although hopefully no one has to experience it in the future, it's highly likely that you might, so this might help get you through it a little bit better. Anyways, without further ado, let's dive right in. Oh no, I drew a line on the table. Okay, so yes, university life, and I'm not just talking about studying. Everyone goes to university to get a degree. That's what university is for. But you're not likely to spend the entirety of your time at university just sitting behind the books and studying. If you do, wow, you're gonna definitely pass. Congratulations to you. I couldn't do that. I couldn't. As important as studying and passing your course is, it's also equally as important to take the opportunity at university to meet new people, to enjoy new things in life, and to make the most of your social life. So university obviously is going to introduce you to a ton of new people. You're going to meet people in your accommodation, in your dorms, in your course. You're just going to meet people randomly on campus. It happens, especially in the first few weeks. You're going to meet people on a bus into town, and it turns out that you guys live in the same block and do the same course, and you just never met them before. And it's these kinds of things. You're going to meet so many interesting, amazing, wonderful people, and some of them it'll be a one-time meet and then you don't talk again, but some of these people are going to go on to become really good long-term friends. And I think that's really beautiful that you can meet so many different people and kind of just form all of these different relationships with people in such a short time. It's really amazing. So I think I basically made a couple of, three main groups of friends, and all of them were new. I went to Warwick not knowing a single person except for a couple of people in third year, but I didn't see them all the time. I'm not really in touch with them. I just know who they are because we used to live in the same place. And so for me going to Warwick, it was all about basically just finding myself a people to get on the same level with, people who are equally as interested in passing and getting a good grade, but also who kind of are there to live. So I succeeded in this. I can say 100% I met the most amazing people at university. The first people that I met, of course, were my flatmates, because I'm living with them. There was a whole group of them. They're really quite amazing. I enjoyed the diversity of it. I think my kitchen as well was just so unique and exceptional because we had people from all over the world. Ooh. International students, home students, European students, it's just everything. Everyone was everywhere. All over the UK, all over Europe, all over the world, and we all came together, and it was just really interesting because in such a short time, all of us formed such a family-like bond in this little kitchen of ours. We would come in and have 4 a.m. tea and chats, and we would have always have someone who was in the kitchen ready to have a conversation with you, and there was always someone that you could count on to check to make sure you turn the oven off. And it was just a really good feeling, I guess, to know that we're all in the same situation here. It wasn't like some people were doing one thing and another. Yeah, we're all studying different degrees, but we're all in the same situation. We're all first-year students experiencing this whole university life for the first time, living in a new place for the first time, and it was really, really, really amazing. So, I think after I met my flatmates, the next people that I met were my course mates. I got really lucky. I found a really good group of people who are doing my course, or at least in life sciences, and these people just, we kind of naturally formed a group, even from before. So, rewind a little bit. Before actually coming to uni, I joined a lot of group chats, and I've talked about this in other videos as well. Group chats are really important to kind of start forming the basis of relationships at university, and just to get to know the people that you're going to be spending the next few years with. So in these group chats, the life sciences one specifically, we had a lot of conversation with a specific group of people, and it turns out that a lot of those people, well, a couple of them at least, ended up being my year-long friends in the course. And to this day, I mean, we spent a lot of time on FaceTime and on call over the time of quarantine. We spent so many long nights in the library studying, or even up at Gibbet Hill studying, and it's just been so amazing, all of these people that I've met. It's really incredible. I think the third group of people that I met them a little bit later on. They're not my course mates, but one of my flatmates has a bunch of friends from her course. She's actually the flatmate that I'm going to be living with next year, so if you watch my house hunting video from way back when, you'll see her there. So she introduced me to a bunch of her course mates, and they're mostly European background, and we just got along really well. I think they accepted me as a person, and we would go on dinners together. So I guess, okay, enough about who I've met. I told you I'd talk about the social life at uni and what it's like, because it's not just all studying. I won't lie, my first term was relatively uneventful. I had a couple of late nights on campus with friends when they'd come back from clubbing, but I didn't go clubbing until the last night of first term. I really didn't go out much in first term, and I think that's because, as myself, I was just kind of getting used to it. I didn't really feel like going out, drinking. It just wasn't really my scene, I guess you could say. I still had a great first term though, and there are things that you can do that don't involve clubbing. So, like I said, dinners. I think one of the best things that you can do with these groups of friends when you find them is, in Warwick specifically, there's a city not too far away called Leamington Spa. It's a small town, but it's got all sorts of restaurants, all sorts of shops, a really beautiful main street, 2 clubs as well, 3, 4, there's 2 main clubs. I know there's a couple other ones, I don't know. Yeah, so dinners are a great way not only to get to know the people that you're starting to form these friendships with, but to try new food, and food's really, really good. Plus, there are loads of ways that you can get student discounts as well at these restaurants. I think I'm going to make another video on that, ways to make the most of budgeting as a student, because that's something that I've been learning. Time for another video. Right, so yeah, food. Food is number 1. Explore new food places. Find a cafe. There's this great place called Creams, and if you're English, you probably know what it is, and you're probably not thinking it's as great as I'm thinking it is. But if you're European or international and you haven't lived in the UK before, this discovery of, and if you have a sweet tooth, if you don't have a sweet tooth, it's not for you. Creams is amazing. They make waffles, crepes, cookie doughs, and by the way, the cookie dough is so good. It's semi-baked, so it's soft on the inside, slightly crispy just on the outside edges. It's hot, it's melting, it's delicious. Anyways, so yeah, food is one definite big way of entertaining. I don't know, I'm a big foodie. I really enjoy trying new foods, trying new places. I just enjoy food in general, especially when it's good, and there's so many interesting places in Leamington and even in Coventry that you can go and discover, and I think it's worth it. And a food date even if it's just a friendly food date or a group food date, is definitely by far the best kind of date in my opinion. If you can share food with someone, then you can pretty much do a lot of other things with someone, in my opinion. Again, foodie. So, food. Let's see, what else? If you're a big shopper, like I said, there's quite a few shops. There is a cinema, so you can go watch a film with people. There's a cinema both in Coventry and in Leamington. That's another thing that you can do. I'm pretty sure there's bowling as well. I know a couple of people who said they went bowling. I never went bowling, but that's just me. So obviously, right now I'm covering off-campus things that you can do, and I'm gonna finish that and then go on to on-campus. But another off-campus, obviously, is the clubbing. Clubbing is kind of just a part of university, especially if you're the clubbing kind of person. I like to dance. I really like loud music and dancing, and I guess why not dance with loud music in a sweaty crowd and pay money for it and get drinks spilled on you and get your feet stamped on.
It's fun, right?
But the atmosphere. Okay, I have to admit, I love the atmosphere. So I guess I've only been to 2 uni clubs before. There's Neon in Leamington and Casbah in Coventry. So if I'm ranking them, honestly, both of them are quite good. My basis is comparing them to Spanish clubs, which are at the top of the list, so nothing has beat my Spanish club expectancies yet. But Casbah's better than Neon, but neither of them are horrible. I'm not a huge judger of the music unless I just don't like it, but I feel like they play pretty just danceable music, and if you can dance to it, you can zone out to it, and it doesn't really matter. Clubs are about £5 to get in, £4 with student ID at Casbah. It's a typical club, really. Loud music. English clubs, if you're unaware, have multiple rooms. Most of the clubs that I've been to here are usually one-room clubs or bars, so they don't have that, but that was really interesting to see. And again, the clubbing experience is just, if you're coming to uni, it's likely that you've already been clubbing quite a few times with friends, but if you haven't, it is a fun experience, and no, you do not have to drink to enjoy it. A lot of people do. A lot of people feel that they need to drink quite a bit in order to be able to enjoy clubbing, because yes, it can get quite uncomfortable. You're surrounded by a lot of people, most of them inebriated, and it can get quite hot, the music's very loud, but if you're like me and you just want to dance and enjoy the loud music, you can kind of learn to tune out the drunkenness and the sloppiness and just enjoy the music, and you end up finding yourself a little space on the dance floor. Also, if you can find yourself a friend who doesn't need to get drunk to have fun, you two are going to have the best night of your lives. Shout out to Yamina, who I had that night with once at Casbah. Okay, so on campus, there's actually a couple of things that you can do as well. First of all, societies tend to host a lot of events, so there's an on-campus cinema. It does show films a little bit later than in normal cinemas, but it's still a pretty good experience. I think the on-campus cinema is in the maths building, might be in the physics building, I'm not quite sure, I never went. But there is, at the beginning of the year, they'll give you a whole list and you can see all the films that are showing, so that's fun. On Wednesdays, there was a daytime, like, farmer's market type of thing, food market type of thing in the piazza, so it was really great. You got food, again, food! Why not? The gym. The gym is a great place. So the Warwick Sports Center is fantastically huge. And it's not just the gym, so you don't have to just work out. There are badminton courts, so you can rent them and go play with a bunch of friends. Basketball courts, volleyball courts, I think they're all the same courts, you just put up different nets. Racquetball, or as the English call it, squash. Rock climbing as well. Rock climbing is really fun. I did it a couple of times by myself. I did it once with a friend and 2 of his friends as well. That was really, really fun. Just beware, if you do want to do it, you have to first do an online, like, little training exam thingy. It's not really a huge exam, but you have to fill it out, watch a video, pay a fee, and then it depends on what Warwick Sports membership you have. If you have one at all, how much you pay to go climbing, renting gear, whatnot. You have to go through like a little mini initiation where they'll show you what you do, and then you're just off to climb. They have both auto belays and non-auto belays If you can tell, I usually only climb on the auto ones. I don't have a friend who can climb me. Anyways, so that's on campus. Talked about off campus. There's probably more stuff that you can do on campus. It's always nice to just go on a walk. Campus is quite pretty and it's very big and there's a lot to see. I know at the beginning of term, my flatmates and I, we all got out. It was a rainy day, so we all got out our umbrellas and we just decided to go find the sports hub. I think there might have been a fair going on there because this was week 1. But regardless, we all got out. We took the long way around. We saw the lake, which is where lakeside accommodation is. Fancy that. And Heron Bank as well, I think because of the herons. Wow. It's almost like Bluebell was named after the bluebells that bloom in the spring. Anyways, so that was my social life. Like I said, my friends that I have made throughout the course of terms 1 and 2 are people that I have a feeling I'm going to be in touch with for the next many, many years of my life. The reason being is already for the past 4 months since I've seen any of them, we've been able to keep up solid and very normal casual contact, and that's something I'm super happy about. So now we're gonna do that little quarantine review thing. I'm gonna make this quick, don't want it to stretch out for too long, don't really have that much to say anyways. Online teaching for me personally was probably a better experience than a lot of the other courses at Warwick University, simply because I know life sciences does a lot more for us than a couple of other departments from what I've heard, and for that I'm extremely thankful. I did a life sciences review last week, if you saw it, so check that out. I'll put a little link at the top. Yes, and I am so thankful for that. They gave us all the lectures that we needed online available. They gave us lecture notes. They were online and ready to answer on any of our questions. We had individual tutor meetings, group tutor meetings. We actually had work that we did. We got a lot of feedback. We were constantly kept up to date, and although everything was pretty unclear, still to date kind of is quite unclear, we managed to get our results back. Life Sciences fought for all of us to have our course weighted and to count towards our final degree because we did enough work that if we didn't have that, it just wouldn't be really fair. And so shout out to Life Sciences for all the work that they did to make term 3 as manageable as possible. We really didn't have a huge amount of work because they did cancel exams for us, so any work that we did was just for ourselves. While we had our mock exams, they weren't mandatory and they were just to give us a kind of clue as to how much of the information we actually know or not. But as far as providing us with the resources to potentially sit an exam, they did that, and they were there for us, and I'm extremely pleased with the way that they managed these circumstances. My term 3 flew by so fast. Before I knew it, I was sitting the mocks, and then on Thursday I got my results. I passed, which is why I said at the beginning, I'm in year 2 officially. Woo! So I can officially do my first year review properly. Overall, ooh, voice crack. Overall, I would say that my first year was an experience. Above all, I had both good, extremely good, amazing, happy times in my first year, and I had slightly harder, more troubling times, but all of them were experiences that I guess I needed to experience in order to better set myself for second year. I'm going into second year with a different mindset. I'm learning how to manage my money better because I didn't do that a whole lot in year 1. I was kind of a bit extreme with either spending nothing or spending everything in one go. I'm definitely going to learn to manage my studying time better. I had a few too many late nights at university, I think, and that's something that I've learned to work on this time in quarantine as well. Has really helped me stick to a regime. I have formulated a strict bedtime. I can't stay up past 11 anymore. I start falling asleep at 11. I'm a grandma. Officially become a grandma. First year university is done and I'm already a grandma. Oh my god, what is second year gonna do to me? I love first year, I really did. I had a great time. I'm so thankful for all the people that I met. Big shout out to Mike because he's been there for a lot of the different experiences of my first year, and he really, really wanted this video where I mentioned all of my friends. Couldn't wait for it. This is for you, Mike. You better watch to the end of this video, you're not gonna see this. Anyways, on that note, I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I will see you next week with a new video on a topic that is to be decided still. Bye!